how's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining me today and taking your time to hang out with me and watch this video. I'm out here at my sister's place in Arkansas. They live in the southern part of Arkansas, about an hour or so of where I grew up, and man, I love it. This is the first day we've had since I've been here. I got here Tuesday, so today's Christmas Eve. And it's the first day we've had that it hasn't been raining, nasty weather, and all that stuff. So I decided to come out here and get out in the woods. We've got blue skies. It is pretty hot. It's like 70 degrees, but at least it's not raining. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to do. First off, I brought a couple of new pieces of gear that I wanted to try out. One of them's a new tarp. I want to see how it works and how it sets up, and then also wanted to try out my new zebra pot. I don't know if I'm going to be using that on camera or not, but I for sure wanted to try it out. And then other than that, when I'm here in Arkansas for Christmas, I started what my sister now calls a tradition. It's only its second year though, of making a wreath. Last year, the YouTube channel David's Passage put out a bushcraft Christmas wreath video, and it was just really cool. And I was like, hey, I want to try that. So I came out here last year and made one just to see if I could do it, and I did. And my sister just fell in love with it and has used it ever since. And so now my mom and my mother-in-law both have requested that I make them one. So I've got to get that done. I also, like I said, want to set up that tarp, and then I also want to have a discussion about the wonderful tree known as pine. I love pine. It's probably one of my favorite trees besides, I guess cottonwood, but pine edges it out on as far as my list, just as as everything. Fire starter, medicinal, all that good stuff. But here in this state, and specifically where I am, it's mainly yellow pine, and I've been looking into it. Brought a couple of books with me and all that, and then before we came down here, kind of freshened up on it. Reminded myself of what I've read before, but I just wanted to kind of go over pine, and then also transition that into fatwood. And I still see to this day, even with all of the videos and whatnot that people have posted on it, I still see people asking questions about how to find fatwood and what to look for. And I haven't found a lot of people that are in this far south that are posting videos up on it. So I just thought it would be a good idea. I knew I was going to be getting some when I came back out here, and man, I've already found at least 3 good scores of it that I can show you. So let me adjust the camera. All right, so what we have here behind me is a pine tree, and pretty much anybody that goes into the woods that has them in their area can distinguish a pine tree from some of the other harder trees to distinguish, like your oaks or whatever. But I kind of wanted to just go over why, for me, a pine is so cool. And forgive me, I've got some notes and stuff here of what I've looked up, but where I am in Arkansas, we're further south. We're pretty close to Shreveport. Sorry, they're like 3 or 4 squirrels that are just chasing each other and going bonkers back here. But where we are, we're pretty south, pretty far south in Arkansas, and from what I've gathered, here their main 2 types of pine are white pine, and then their more predominant species, like this one, is yellow pine. And it is the state tree of Arkansas, so that was something that was new to me. And they're everywhere. It's just beautiful. I love it. I love having the pine needle floors, the debris is great if you're, you know, wanting to make shelters or just need a place to kind of just sit down and relax for a little bit. Um, and it's just beautiful. The smells, the air just seems cleaner. But yeah, it's just a different environment. Where I am in Texas, uh, it's a lot of oak and a lot of scrub, you know, taller scrub brush and it's just completely different. I have found some sections of pine, but not like this. I mean, I can count 30 pine, 40 pine, just right here in this area. So it's just good to get out in different areas and experience different resources and learn your different resources. And unfortunately, or fortunately enough, I've had about 3 years or so now of, you know, a couple of times a year getting to come out for 4 or 5 days at a time and hang out in this stuff. It's kind of like, you know, going to take a class or something somewhere, because I come to visit my sister and, you know, spend as much time as I can out here. But yeah, so the pine tree is the state tree of Arkansas. And like I said, there's predominantly white, or there's predominantly yellow pine, but there is some white pine here. Um, Within the yellow pines, you've got four main differences, and or the four distinct yellow pines. You've got the loblolly, the longleaf, the shortleaf, and the slash pine. Now, where I am, there is no longleaf and there is no slash pine, but the predominant one is the loblollies and the shortleaf. So, and I haven't, I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't spent enough time being able to distinguish between what's the shortleaf and what's the loblolly, but I'm pretty sure that this is a loblolly, and the short leaf don't get quite as tall. But we'll go over that more in a little bit. Now, your short leaf, they also refer to it here as a southern yellow pine, short straw pine, and then also the Arkansas pine, because it's just so prominent. Their widest distribution of any southern pine uh, is in this area. This is where the most southern pine, or sorry, short leaf pine is distributed from, is the southern areas of Arkansas, southeast Texas, and or East Texas, southeast Texas, and Louisiana. Um, and they can reach up to 60 feet in 20 years, and they can live up to 250 years old. So they get pretty tall, and the majority of your shortleaf pine is used for lumber. Now, the other one, like this one, the loblolly, it's the leading material timber tree in the South because it grows so straight and it drops its branches as it grows up, a lot like tulip poplar, like what they have further north. Uh, how it drops its branches as it grows up, it will do that to be able to focus its leaf better higher up out of the canopy towards the sunlight so it can grow taller. Um, People refer to the loblolly pines or as bull pines, rosemary pines, old field pines, and then also Arkansas pine, and then some places call it the North Carolina pine. So it's got a few different nicknames, but it's pretty clear and distinct on how, I guess, different the loblolly and a shortleaf are. I've still been looking around for a shortleaf, but yet to find one. I think I saw a few on the way in off to the side of the road, but the majority of these, based on the description, look like they're the loblolly. They can reach 50 feet in just 20 years, so that's pretty fast growing, and it seems like they almost uh, cluster themselves as they grow. You know, like you'll see, especially like again with tulip poplar, when you find one, you'll find 20, and it seems like that with the pines too, because they're just everywhere. And you'll find short ones that are struggling to get big, and then you'll find full grown ones like this one behind me. Their main uses are lumber for naval and veneer products, as well as pulpwood. So I thought that was just some pretty cool stuff that I'd found about them. But the main reason that I wanted to talk about pines with you today is that because they aren't in my area specifically, I try to take advantage of them when I come down here. And I do my fatwood collecting once or twice a year when I come here. So this piece that I'm holding on to right now is a prime candidate for what I would consider good fatwood. Also, you know, lighter wood, not wood. And I'll show you some little tips and tricks that I'll look for specifically with yellow pine. I'm pretty sure it works the same with white pine. I don't know about red pine. But I'll bring you in closer and show you some characteristics to kind of hopefully help you if you're trying to find your own fatwood instead of having to buy it. So right off the bat, if I'm walking through the woods and I'm searching for fatwood, this is going to be something that I'll stop at every time. And the biggest reason is because I hope that it would be good fatwood, because you have your main trunk here that goes way high up and doesn't have any branches on it, but yet you've got a piece here that's sticking out from the trunk of it. So it's still attached to the tree, but if you look up further up here, it has broken off and it clearly is dead. Okay, now another telltale sign, you can see that it's broken off and it's dead. So see, it looks like it's rotting up there. Okay, bring you in, I'll just take you off. So it looks like this is rotting, okay, which it is. It's breaking off and it's rotting. But as you move further down the trunk, it starts to get really hard and like it won't break, and it sounds really dense. Okay, so it doesn't feel soft and weak like what rotten or punk wood or just your normal dry snappy firewood would feel like, but it isn't living. So, and the reason why I don't go after the notches in trees of living trees and cut living branches off is just because I tend to have better luck with branches like this that are already dead, and it's not really hurting the tree any, because this is eventually going to fall off and break. It'll just take forever. And the reason for that is because all the resin is still being pumped through this branch, but it's not able to send it to its leaf litter or to its leaves up top. So it hardens itself. It gets rock hard, and it's actually pretty dense and pretty heavy for it to only be, you know, about this big around. What is that, 2 or 3 inches? So when I was doing a little scout the other day, I got my knife and put a little mark in it to remember it, and you can see it is that beautiful orange, dark rich orange color. So that's a for sure telltale sign. And the other sign is this green that gets on here. I call these zombie pines. Anytime you see this kind of green on them, it normally means they're dead, and it's a pretty good chance it's going to be pine. So I'll look for that. Last year I actually found a full dead standing tree that had been broken off about 6 feet up. So it was a 6 feet piece just like this, but it was about 3 times as big around as this, and it was just solid fatwood. So let me move you around and I will cut this off and show you the harvest.
All right, check it out. Whew. Some good stuff.
So you've got another notch that's growing on a big tree, and if you just pull out your knife and put a little nick in it, you can check. Oh yeah, it looks good. It's quite a bit bigger, but we'll give it a shot. Like I said, this doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt the tree because it's gonna fall off anyways. The only reason why it's still on here, it's not because it's growing at the top. It's dead. It's on here because it's still so full of resin. It's gonna take a while for it to snap off. That's just rotted out. As you get down here closer, this is the good stuff. So I'll cut this up and get back with you. Another way I like to look for fatwood is to look for dead branches on the ground, like this one. And I can tell it's pine, and it's got that characteristic green tint to it. It's covered in moss. Now, you would look at it and think there's no way it's good. You look at it and think there's no way it's good for anything because it's rotten and it's on the ground. Well, what I do is I step on it, and if it doesn't bust right underneath me, then I know there's probably resin in it because that's what's making it hard for it to break. So I got my knife out and trimmed a little bit back. And let me show you this. This is probably the best I've found so far. Look at this. Loaded. So I'll cut this up and show you what it looks like once I get the good pieces off of it. All right, so you can see for sure where it's rotted out. Come on, focus. All right, so you can for sure see pieces that it's rotted out, but in between those, like this, look at that. How crazy that is. Here,